So we're making a video on how to cook chanterelles and the best way to cook them. A lot of people like to just kind of rip them apart with their hands, and that does work. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people say they kind of like shred apart like string cheese, and they do, but I like knives. I like using knives, so I like cutting mine. But by all means, you can shred them apart with your hands. That's the more traditional way. That's what they do in the restaurants. For me, it's easier to get like a uniform piece by using the knife. I can get all the pieces the same size. That's what I like to do. It's just easier for me. I can use one hand while doing it while I'm filming. You can't really shred them apart while you're doing that. So that's why I like to use the knife. I get them all just about like that. So they're kind of, bite size. And these will break down, they'll shrink as they cook. So we're going to add these in. This is actually a bigger batch than I thought. I've never actually cooked this many. It's like 3 inches deep in this 8-quart pot. That's probably, I don't know, maybe 2 to 3 pounds of mushrooms. All chanterelles that I found today on my birthday. So it's not an Instant Pot. I don't know if I said that. It's a Ninja Foodie. I just call them all instant pots or instant pots. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn it on. Well, it wasn't plugged in. Now I'm going to turn it on. There we go. And I'm going to do sear and saute. And we are going to let it saute while we stir it up for a little while. I will get back to you once it starts heating up. And I did not add anything. The only thing in here are the chanterelles. Alright, I'm starting to get that sizzle noise, so I'm going to kind of move them around. And I'm going to continue to move them around for probably about, the next 5 to 10 minutes. While this heats up and they kind of do their thing. And again, I did not add anything. I have added nothing to this. This is just mushrooms on heat in the Ninja Foodie. And this is the only thing that I have to cook on right now. You can use anything to do this. A frying pan, a pot, a big pot that you use for sauce and pasta. You can use a casserole dish. You can do it over the fire on a piece of foil. There is no wrong way. There is no wrong instrument. As long as it's, food safe and whatnot, like you can do this on anything. I'm just doing it in this because this is all I have right now. But if you have some sort of vessel that you cook food in, then chances are you can do. I mean, you don't want to use a microwave or anything. You want it to be like hot, like normal heat, like a pan, a pot. You can use a griddle. You get my point? Just you're heating it up. And what you're doing is you're drawing out all the moisture inside of these mushrooms. So these mushrooms are heavy. You can already see a lot of that moisture coming out there. See that liquid? That is the moisture that's in these mushrooms. And all that liquid is going to come out. And it'll probably fill it like a 1/4 inch full of water. It's basically rainwater. It's all going to come out as these saute. And you're going to keep doing that. And that's why we didn't add anything. Because if you were to add butter and seasonings now, it's just going to get washed out. What we're doing now is we are trying to burn off all that moisture. Oh, it's getting on my camera lens. There we go. We're trying to burn off all that moisture that's already in the mushroom. Oh, you can see a lot more coming out there. See it building up? I'm not even doing anything. That's not me. Look at it building up. So we're going to just toss this around for the next few minutes. Get all this moisture out of the mushrooms, out of the chanterelles. And once it's all evaporated, that's when we're going to add our butter, you know, our pepper, our garlic, whatever else we want to add. So right now we just want to evaporate all this moisture. Look at all that. Holy cow. See what I mean? Oh, it's filling up. That's like an inch. It might take, 10 to 15 minutes on high heat to get all that to evaporate. That's a lot of water that's just been sitting in these mushrooms. We're gonna burn it off. I mean, it's almost starting to look like soup here. You know what I mean? All the mushrooms are completely submerged in this fluid, and I didn't add anything. All of this liquid was in these mushrooms. So if I were to add the oil or the butter right now or in the beginning, it's not really going to soak into these mushrooms. Oil and butter and stuff are heavier than water, so they sit up on top of water. The water will sink and the oil and the butter rises up, so it's not really, the flavor of the butter or the oil won't really soak into the mushrooms if I were to add it in the beginning or right now. The mushrooms are starting to get a little softer. I see a lot of steam coming off. So all the moisture is now out of the mushrooms and into the pan. As you can see, it's about an inch full of water. And we're going to evaporate this and let it burn off. And that's when we're going to add our magic. Alright, so it's it's reduced down a little bit. We're going to wait until all that liquid is gone, until it's dry. You want it dry. But at the same time, you don't want to overcook a mushroom. So it's just because I'm making such a big batch of these right now. There's so much liquid in there. We don't want to, start doing our thing too late, but at the same time, we don't want to start doing our thing with all that mushroom juice that hasn't been evaporated yet. There we go. I mean, we're basically there. There's still a little bit of liquid in there, some water. But I think this will do. Because since there's so much, and it has made so much liquid, it's basically time to add our other ingredients. And so now is the time that we add our butter. So since the mushrooms have boiled off all of that liquid that was inside of it, now the butter can finally get inside of it. Like I said before, if you just add your butter right away while you're sauteing it, or oil or something, it's not really going to work because water and oils don't mix. That's why you want to burn off all the natural water inside the mushroom first, and then add your butter. And then that will make the butter absorb into the mushroom and give it that yummy butter flavor. And if you don't do that, then it's already it'll be full of water, and it can't really absorb any butter or anything at all if your mushroom is already full of water. So you need to burn off that water first. And you didn't hear it from me, but I'm going to add a little bit of hot sauce. A little bit of Taco Bell sauce. They call me the sauce boss. And we're going to add a little bit of Italian seasonings. Not much. Just a tiny bit of some ghost pepper. I like that spice. Couple little chopped chives. Some of that chive guy. So I've made lots of mushroom dishes, and I've told, some of my friends and people that I know, I told them how good it was, and they said, "There's no way." They said, "Prove it." And I said, "Okay." They asked me what my secret was. That's my secret. Fire. And give that a little star. Now I'm going to turn off the heat. We're going to call it good. Those are Paul's sauteed wild forage chanterelles. It really, really doesn't get much better than that. I wish it could, but it don't.